Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be an epic live stream. Hit subscribe right now. If you're used to the uploads, don't get upset for the length or for how long this live stream takes. The first 30 to 40 minutes will cover everything, and then we'll veer off to all different topics, controversial issues, points of contention, the price of Lamborghinis, things like that. All different topics you'd never think we would talk about. But hit subscribe right now. We're slowly growing. Not as fast as I would with the uploads, but it is so enjoyable speaking and conversing with everyone here. And the super chat gives me every incentive to rock the live streams. Dogfather of Hull, thank you so very much for watching for so long. Thank you, everyone. And, well, Boston, how about them Patriots? Red Sox? Okay. Manafort judge to prosecutors. There's tears in your eyes. It's pretty awesome when this judge is like, amazing, absolutely amazing. So Judge T.S. Ellis, tensions at the Paul Manafort fraud trial grew so heated Monday that the judge suggested that one of Robert Mueller's prosecutors was crying during a discussion out of the juror's earshot. According to a transcript of the proceedings, I understand how frustrated you are, U.S. District Judge T.S. Ellis III said during the discussion. In fact, there's tears in your eyes right now. When prosecutor Greg Andrade protested that he didn't have tears in his eyes, the judge shot back, well, they're watery. The exchange came during testimony by Manafort's right-hand man, Rick Gates, who offered dramatic details of how he stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from his boss, how he stole... What? Oh, my God. Who offered dramatic details of how he stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from his boss while helping him hide offshore accounts. Wow. Wow. So, as if they didn't make Manafort somewhat of an interesting, maybe perhaps not sympathetic figure. So we got 300 approaching 400 people 2 minutes in. It's going to be a pretty good live stream. Manafort's former right-hand man, Rick Gates, who offered dramatic details about how he stole hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, that's not really good for the... it's very difficult to go ahead and say, well, believe this guy who stole money from the guy we want in prison. And it's not really like... The whole point is to make Manafort this bad guy. The whole point is to make Manafort this, like, really, like this horrible threat to humanity. And here you have the key witness who also basically stole money, who is not a sympathetic figure in his own right, and who actually bolsters the case that Manafort is just being... Well, I should say that it doesn't make Manafort look bad. You have the star witness is a guy who's stealing from Manafort. So there are credibility issues there. So, Chris, this is interesting from Chuck Ross, the Daily Caller just now. Christopher Steele dodged Congress's interview request, but Chuck Grassley found a solution. So Chuck Grassley is going to utilize the deposition that Steele gave in London on June 18th. So that's hilarious. This is a lawyer for Alexei Gubarev, who is, I believe, suing BuzzFeed. So I mean, it's all coming to the pretty much logical conclusion, which is that this is all being exposed. You have the most overt, shoddy, ridiculous fabrication. Trump did not work with Russia. It's the stupidest thing on the planet to even think. Oh, and by the way, I mean, there's a lot going on today. By the way, not only Nunes says Obama's FBI withheld exculpatory evidence in Fisa application. So not just that, we'll get to that. That's from Sarah Carter. But we have an Ohio special election. Let's see. Where's the Ohio special election? Before we get to the... And Ohio special election, everything you need to know. Balderson's going to win tonight. And it's going to remain Republican. It's going to be Republican. They have... The polls are like, it's like a dead heat now. But if you look at special elections, Ballotpedia, special elections to the 115th Congress, 2017 to 2018. So this is interesting. You have 7 out of the 10 being won by Republicans. Here's the Ballotpedia. So tell me again. If you're in Ohio, let me in on what you think. 485 people, 500 people, 7 minutes in, not bad. Trudeau and his fake eyebrows. So before we get to Balderson and Ohio, this is what I don't understand. Kansas, winner Republican. This is April 11, 2017. Ron Estes is the Republican who won. Okay. Montana's at large. District, Greg Gianforte won. So Republican. Then California's 34th was Javier Becerra, then Jimmy Gomez, but that really wasn't really a win. I don't think there wasn't even a Republican there. So California's 34th on April 4th, 2017. It was 2 Democrats running against each other. So yeah, the Democrat won. I mean, they would probably find a way to lose that to a Republican somehow, but the Democrat won. Georgia's 6th, Karen Handel. Republican won. So Republicans were 3 out of 4. Up until May 2nd, South Carolina's 5th, Ralph Norman won. Republicans were 4 out of 5. Then Doug Jones, which is the most ridiculous. Roy Moore had the absolute worst campaign ever, where he admitted to just dating underage girls, and it's like he rode to the polls on a horse. It was just insane. The whole thing was, the guy should have simply backed down. And I'll get to Alex Jones in a second. I think it's horrible what happened, and absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'll try to, mitigate my critique today, but the critique was not, well, I'll get to Alex Jones in a second. So then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Michael Cloud in Texas's 27th. Arizona's 8th, Debbie Lesko. Pennsylvania's 18th should have been won by Rick Saccone. But, I mean, that was an example. The Republican incumbent cheated on his wife and then wanted his mistress to get a and abortion. So CJ LeBeau uploads live broadcast. I don't care. Just keep spreading the facts. Love your Second Amendment channel. Just got a SIG 360. Nice. Yeah, I like SIGs. They're very good. SIG 365p, and I love it too. Awesome. Very, very, very cool. Very cool. 6 Sauer is very good firearm. And I'm looking at the SIG P3 365 right now. Now that you told me you got it. Let me see. I'm actually, wow, it looks nice. It looks like a concealed carry. Wow. Very nice. Yeah, concealed carry. Gives you more capacity. Wow. Okay. It's affordable. Probably, you probably enjoy it better than a Glock, I would assume. I don't know why I said that, other than I like Glocks, but I think Smith & Wesson has a good line too. Nice, very cool. 9mm, very, very cool. CJ LeBeau, excellent. Congrats, very cool. I bet it's awesome. I have to try that one day. Glock also. Cool. Yeah. I like the M&P shield a lot. I do. Horace! Salut, mon ami! Salut, Horace! Missed your Q-vid, but when you challenge the dogma and such emotion as manifest Stockholm Syndrome as Megatel. Keep on, brother. Horace! Horace, thank you so much, as always. Horace, thank you. I appreciate it. Yesterday, I was like, am I doing the right thing? But then I'm like, this is just not normal. I think I lost like 60 subs, something like that. But it's like, it's not good. I'll get to that in a little later. Horace, thank you. CJ LeBeau, thank you. I actually just picked up my Smith & Wesson AR-15, and I have to go ahead and I got to go to the range either the end of this week or the beginning of next week and show everyone. It looks pretty awesome. It's very affordable too, but it just looks awesome. So now I have an AK and an AR. And my most, I guess, I don't know if the word is pragmatic, but I have a CZ97B. That would be, I guess, I wouldn't say pragmatic. It's a firearm that's a handgun that is more pragmatic than the other handgun I had, which is the Smith & Wesson 500, 10.5-inch barrel. That video was actually retweeted in the article that was I wrote an article in the Daily Caller that was retweeted by the NRA and Gun Owners of America. So there's so much. I can't stress enough. So I just wanted to take, because people are like, there's a blue wave. Well, Kansas 4th, Montana, Georgia, South Carolina, the Alabama was like a joke. So that was a joke. I believe that's up in the midterms, and Doug Jones is not going to keep his seat. Utah's 3rd, Pennsylvania's so Utah's 3rd, Arizona's 8th, Texas's 27th district. So there's going to be an Ohio special election tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're looking at 8 out of 11. And one of the districts won by the Democrats was just Democrat versus Democrat. So this is the Ballotpedia. I just want to give you that. And this is really, really important because it's just, there's the Ballotpedia right there. So, you can see right there. Horace, thank you. CJ LeBeau, thank you. Congrats on the SIG 365p. Yeah. You know, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think there's something wrong with me, but I like in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go 9mm, go 45 ACP, but that's stupid of me to think. It's just a stupid thing in my head. It's stupid. I don't know why even. Marengo! I voted in Ohio special election for Troy Balderson. Yes! Yes! And whenever you see the polls are like, oh, well, it's close, that means the Republican's going to win. The Republican's going to win. So, and I just, let's just see. Okay, so Doug Jones re-election. I just want to see. If you're in Alabama, let me know. If you live in, I know I have a bunch of people who watch me from Alabama. Oh, sorry, 2020. So talk about who could run against him in 2020 has already started. So Roy Moore really just effed the Republican Party bad on that. Real bad. Real bad. Real bad. But not bad enough because, so that's 2020. So Doug Jones won't keep that seat anyway. Marengo, excellent. Excellent. We have to ensure that, let's see, Democrats do not win because, let's see, all the wonderful reasons. They will take away your guns. That's not even a joke. That's not even hyperbole. Everything, gun control is always about, I mean, just look at Heller versus DC. If you don't want to talk about, if they say, well, we don't want to take away your guns, Heller versus DC is a landmark, District of Columbia versus Heller 2008 is a landmark case in which the Supreme Court held that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm unconnected with service to the militia for traditional law purposes, such as self-defense within the home, and that Washington, D.C.'s handgun ban and requirement that lawfully owned rifles and shotguns be kept unloaded and disassembled or bound by a trigger lock violates this guarantee. I mean, if you need to keep us safe, that's a different story. But it's also stated the right to bear arms is not unlimited and that guns and gun ownership would continue to be relegated. Due to Washington, D.C. special status as a federal district, the decision does not address the question of whether Second Amendment protections are incorporated by due process law. Okay, but what happened was it was an interesting case. So DC versus Heller. The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. One, generally banned handgun possession by making it so. The 1975 D.C. law generally banned handgun possession by making it a crime to carry unregistered guns and banning registration of guns not registered before 1976. That's ridiculous. Prohibited carrying handguns anywhere in D.C. without a license. Required all firearms to be stored, unloaded, disassembled, or bound by a trigger lock or other similar device unless they were located at a business. So, but the banning a handgun, and then there was what well, I can go on forever. There was an Illinois town that just passed a law that was struck down regarding banning sporting rifles, which is absolutely ridiculous. But we can go ahead and so let's just tensions at the Paul Manafort fraud trial grew heated Monday. So heated that judges suggested that one of Robert Mueller's prosecutors was crying during a discussion. During a discussion, Mueller's team has clashed repeatedly with Judge Ellis, who questions the relevance of detailed evidence about Manafort's work as a political consultant in Ukraine, where prosecutors say he made more than $60 million. If he owes back taxes, pay the back taxes. Some of those confrontations continued in bench conferences that jurors and dozens of media members couldn't hear in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia. Andres complained that Ellis was blocking him from asking important questions while placing an emphasis on moving quickly at the bank and tax fraud trial of Manafort. President Donald Trump's former campaign chairman, Ellis disagreed, saying he wasn't emphasizing speed over substance. The judge continued that delay is unnecessary and prosecutors should stick to the relevant evidence. So what prosecutors are trying to do is they're trying to go ahead. They know that there's really not much they can convict Manafort on except taxes that he owes. And what are they going to do? They don't want the jury to think too much. Michael C. Traffic on the BQE sucks less with HA afternoon drive. Thank you, Michael C. That makes me feel good. I'm glad you're listening and just listening to the soulful sounds of the destruction peacefully and politically of the Democratic Party. Michael C., thank you so very, very much. Thank you. And then one critique I get from when they finally, done with it and upload, and people are like, you just thank people too much. Like, well, it's called a super chat. They get, what do you want me to do? Not say thank you. They're contributing to independent media and, allowing my voice to flourish. So I want to thank them very much. It means a lot to me. Anyway, Andres complained that Ellis was blocking him from asking important questions while placing an emphasis on moving quickly. Ellis disagreed, saying he wasn't emphasizing speed over substance. The judge continued that delay is unnecessary and prosecutors should stick to the relevant evidence. Well, that's obvious. This isn't the first rodeo for this judge. I think he's around 78. He knows when the government's just trying to hype up something simply for politics. This is only for politics. Even Alan Dershowitz said it's only for politics. Only for politics. So, look at me when you're talking to me, Ellis said to Andres. I'm sorry, Judge. No, you weren't. You were looking down. Because I don't want to get in trouble for some facial expressions, the prosecutor said. I don't want to get yelled at again by the court for having some facial expression when I'm not doing anything wrong, but trying my case. Ellis to another prosecutor, you must be quiet. I'm sorry, Judge. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This Mueller team is like a bunch of winners. These people are awesome. Wow. Wow. The judge basically hates the prosecution, which is not good for the prosecution. Oh, my goodness. It's just so stupid. All they want to do is hurt Trump. They don't care. They don't even really understand. They don't even really get that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of this. C.J. LeBeau in Missouri, we can open carry and carry concealed without a permit. Wow, that is awesome. I wish we could do that in California. That is very, very, very awesome. Yeah, I heard Missouri has it's the most pro Second Amendment state, which is one reason I think why Claire McCaskill is why Claire McCaskill is blaming Russians already. She's gonna lose badly. Oh my God. CJ LeBeau, thank you very much for supporting this channel. That's very cool. In Missouri, we can open carry or carry concealed without a permit. You have to jump through a million hoops in California. Wow. That's very, very cool. So, yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Thank you, CJ LeBeau. Thank you. And I think that's like the I tried the Glock 30 SF and the Glock 36. Those are somewhat powerful, and you can go ahead. We can also wear MAGA hats. CJ LeBeau! Yes. Well, that's what Claire McCaskill. So CJ LeBeau, let's just see. I don't know if you're following the shenanigans of Claire McCaskill, but she's already Claire McCaskill blaming Russians. Let me just go ahead and do this. This is hilarious. So CJ LeBeau, thank you so much, and I got to do this. This might interest CJ LeBeau. Claire McCaskill blaming Russians. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So hilarious. So Russia, Claire McCaskill, hackers target 2018 election vulnerable. Target. This is Vox. Well, it's not vulnerable. She was not going to win. She was losing in popularity for years. I will not be intimidated. McCaskill responds to a report of Russian hacking. It's like how does that influence any votes? So hold on. McCaskill, Missouri polls. Election 2018. Hawley versus McCaskill. So she used to lead by 6 in the Senate race. Now it's McCaskill by 1. So she was leading by 6. She was leading by 4. And then the recent polls, Hawley up 2. So Josh Hawley's easily going to win. Not even So CJ LeBeau, thank you so very, very much. Horace, regarding Mueller, difficult to lie to someone while looking into their eyes and soul. It's true. It takes, pretty special kind of liar. That's why when Horace, so CJ LeBeau, Josh Hawley's going to win that. Horace, that's why when Mueller is like, how many times you look in your wife's eyes? And it was just Strzok poo was completely just burned beyond belief. So yeah, I agree with you. Scott Bigler, can't wait for the intelligence agency officials to be placed under oath in the BuzzFeed lawsuit. That's right, as ordered by Judge. Well, you know what? They're gonna just spew a bunch of baloney and bandini, as always. Everything with the intelligence is like, well, I'm gonna be vague. I'm gonna be as vague as possible. But yeah, that'd be awesome. BuzzFeed is actually doing journalism because it's forced to, because it's being sued. And it has to, protect its existence. It'll be glorious. Who knew BuzzFeed would be taking down Russia? Exactly. Yeah. I think tonight you're going to have a Republican win. So let's see. I think Troy Balderson. If you're in Ohio, let me know what you think of this race. You think Danny O'Connor will win or Troy Balderson? I think Troy Balderson will win. So polls close at 7:30 p.m. Ohio time. So that's, I believe, Central. No, is it? Oh, it's Eastern. Sorry. So polls close in 1 hour and 10 minutes. So somebody showed me a meme with Hillary and like a glass of Chardonnay. That's like the thing. That's like the only humanizing thing that I would actually like about her. Like, if you told me that she was drinking all the time, not that I don't condone drinking all the time, and I don't condone, obviously, it's not good to be an alcoholic, but that would like humanize Hillary Clinton. I would actually like her more than I do, which is not at all. Scott Bigler. Scott, they're basically going ahead and, yeah, I mean, they're basically going ahead and, she can't drink on her. She can't drink. That's the thing. I mean, also, can you imagine an intervention with Hillary Clinton? It ain't gonna work. Loud citizen, watch GOP wins 2018. Media spins it as a negative. Exactly. Pretty much. I mean, that's what they'll say is this. Oh my God, we got 10 extra seats. We got 20 seats. We're only 4 seats down. This was a win. Even though you have Jim Jordan, the Speaker of the House, who's going to get everyone in a headlock. So this is what happened at the Mueller trial. Look at me when you're talking to me. Ellis said to Andres, I'm sorry, Judge. I was. Andres said, no, you weren't. You were looking down. And then the Mueller prosecutor, because I don't want to get in trouble for some facial expressions. The prosecutor said, I don't want to get yelled at again by the court for having some facial expressions when I'm not doing anything wrong but trying my case. So Judge T.S. Ellis was telling everybody, you know, you're rolling your eyes. This is another wonderful millennial thing. Even I don't do that. I'm Generation X, I would say, early 40s. But we never we didn't grow up like, if you want like this, you do not like. I remember my history teachers in high school and just my teachers in high school. If you did that, it's game over. Like it would not be good. Kicked out of class, and it just would not be good. You know, oh God, oh, stupid, ridiculous. Oh. It doesn't happen. It didn't happen when I was in high school, but you know. Thank you, Deputy Dog. Thank you. I appreciate that, Deputy Dog. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, okay, so Scott Bigler, yeah, I agree with you. So basically, it's not going well. So, well, I understand how frustrated you are. In fact, there's tears in your eyes right now. There are not tears in my eyes. Okay, so don't worry about it, Ellis. I am not concerned about that at all. I remember trying cases. Well, that's nice. Ellis said he had cases that were important to him in his career. I remember the stress and I remember the pressure, he said. This is a stressful time, so I understand that. But I'm trying to minimize the stress time is all I'm trying to do, and I think we can do that. I don't think this case is as complex as it could be made to be. Gates returns to the witness stand on Tuesday morning. So, I mean, he committed crimes. Whether he knowingly committed crimes is a different story. And you have jurors and you have the judge. So, I mean, whether the jurors say he knowingly committed all of these things simply because Rick Gates says so, that is up for grabs. I mean, he'll probably get, Manafort will probably get indicted, and then we have the issue, can't tell you if this is 100% accurate, but McCain illegally fed classified, this is from True Pundit, McCain illegally fed classified FBI intelligence to Fusion GPS. Well, that's already been talked about. And Christopher Steele to set up Trump Tower meeting. Wow. Thank you, Sean. It's like, you know, so the Mueller trial really is, you know, if Balderson wins tonight, and I think he will win, and what'll take place is very interesting. You will have 8 out of 11 Republicans in special elections win. 8 out of 11. 8 out of 11. And the Democrats who won, you have anomalies. Just really like bizarre, like, okay, so one race in California, there was no Republican, so the Democrat won. And then one race in Alabama, like the Roy Moore, he just basically took a giant dump on the Republican Party. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You know you're not going to win because everyone has exposed the fact of what Roy Moore did, which is insane. You know, so it's like, so and then it's like Troy Balderson commits huge gaffe. If you're in Ohio, if you live in Ohio, is that a huge gaffe? I think he said like something like, "Oh, we don't want Franklin County." Tell me what you think. If you're in Ohio, let me know. Did Troy Balderson commit a huge gaffe? If you live in Ohio, let me know. They're trying to like. It's just the media is like. It's so sad. So this is Salon, actually. What to know about Judge T.S. Ellis? How the Reagan appointee could impact the fate of Paul Manafort? I used to be published in Salon all the time. And there was a Politico article written about how like people like me have ruined Salon. Which I don't know why. How is, and it says MSNBC calls out Trump's racist remark against LeBron. How is that? Then it says MSNBC panel says if you're black, he goes against you. It's like, well, Trump takes a poop on everyone. Like, you should. What did he say about Rosie O'Donnell? She's a white woman. Trump just goes ahead and defends himself in the media. You could disagree with it, but it's not. Love your live chats. The MSM is so convinced that there will be a blue wave, especially because of redistricting. Please say this is not so. Well, but you know, gerrymandering also helps. It's said that gerrymandering helps Republicans, but redistricting, I do not think will make that big of an issue because. Go ahead, man. So here, Republicans are poised to dominate redistricting again. Oh, no, sorry. What am I? Well, that's February 2018. Yeah. So the Supreme Court gave Republicans a big break on gerrymandering. Let's get one thing straight. When given the chance, both parties have drawn congressional and state legislative districts in a way that let their side hold power. But lately, Republicans have been on the receiving end of judiciary blows to their congressional and state legislative maps across the country. They caught a big break when on Monday, the Supreme Court essentially declined to weigh in on two partisan gerrymandering cases that could have given Democrats a roadmap to knock down even more GOP-drawn maps across the country. The Supreme Court, in effect, declined to say whether GOP lawmakers in Wisconsin and Democratic lawmakers in Maryland unconstitutionally drew overtly political districts. Then Republicans got greedy with gerrymandering. Now it's coming back to haunt them. It was so nakedly partisan. You still need a blue wave, so. Supreme Court favors Republicans in gerrymandering. So now it's like Republican gerrymandering wall is starting to crumble. Thing progress. Wow. Take that, John Roberts. One of the retired. Okay, so yet even as the Supreme Court enforced, two of the most gerrymandering states dealt severe blows to partisan election rigging. I don't think it's going to matter because you still, I mean, I don't know how many races it will affect. So I don't. Loud citizen, blue wave equals damn good, waving goodbye as they walk away. Exactly. So Nancy Ella, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy Ella. Thank you. I don't think it's from. If you just look at then, of course, how Republicans rig the game. So it's always a big problem. Oh, look what the Republicans are doing because of gerrymandering. Now it's oh good. Now we can gerrymander also. North Carolina's extreme gerrymandering could save the House Republican majority. Well, it's very difficult to complain when you're engaging in it also as well. JWHA, if I sent you an ostrich jacket, would you wear allies? JW, just your contribution to this channel is enough with what you did. 15 grand for an ostrich jacket. Can you believe it? Who does that? And that doesn't make me hate Manafort. They're like, oh my God, look what he did. $15,000? He's Charles Manson. No, it's just a waste of money. 15 grand. But like, have you seen the jacket? It's nothing to write home about. The jacket, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing to write home about. So I have an ostrich skin holster. Nah, just joking. It was ugly. GW, thank you so very much. Thank you. Rhonda W, Ohio special election final results about 7:45 p.m. That would be around 4:45 p.m. I'm not sure. We might even still be on. Well, I mean, shoes that cost, let's see, shoes are a little bit different, but, 15 grand? No. 15,000 is like too much. But so Rhonda W, thank you. Ohio special election final results around 7:45 p.m. Eastern. To my viewers in Ohio, I might have asked, who'd you vote for? Who do you think's going to win? So let's go ahead and to my viewers in Ohio, if I have any viewers in Ohio, I think I do. I think I have a lot. Let me know. I know. Deputy Dog, I know. Hello, Ed. So, okay, so that's right. Yeah, Ohio. So who do you think's going to win? The Balderson or O'Connell? Troy. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead. And Nunes says Obama's FBI withheld exculpatory evidence in FISA application. This is Sarah Carter. So, House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes stunned leaders in Washington Monday night, confirming that former President Barack Obama's FBI failed to include its exculpatory evidence in its FISA application against Trump campaign volunteer Carter Page. Nunes was speaking with Sean Hannity when he made the shocking claim, saying there is exculpatory evidence that we have seen of classified documents that need to be declassified. This is Nunes.
Also tonight, Daily Caller, our own Sarah Carter, reporting the DOJ is refusing to preserve work-related emails from the former FBI Director Jim Comey's private account. Wow, I wonder. And his office to declassify. Just however, I will say, as a thank you, Sean, and thanks for having me on again. We're really where we're at. A lot of people ask, well, what's left? We still have information that we need from the Department of Justice. However, I will say, as of tonight, we are getting closer and closer to having the information that we need. Tell us why. One of the big issues that they have provided, they have allowed all the issues that were in our subpoena, they have now either we've been able to review, our investigators have been able to review, or they have been delivered to the committee in one form or fashion or another. So let's put that aside. There's still more that has to be done, and we're, of course, months and months late. So where are we? We talked about this last week. We have at least 20 pages of the FISA the FISA warrant that went after Carter Page. We have about 20 pages that the House Republicans have asked several months ago for the president and his office to declassify.
So Nunes, Meadows, Jim Jordan, they all want the president to declassify everything. If I was President Trump, well, here's the thing. Trump probably knows what to do a lot more than me or any other pundit or whatever. I would declassify everything that needs to be declassified before the midterms. Give Republicans that added boost. And that's what I would do. That is exactly what I would do.
We need that declassified. Senator Grassley, for the president, the FISA warrant that went after Carter Page. We have about 20 pages that the House Republicans have asked several months ago for the president and his office to declassify. We need that declassified. Senator Grassley, secondly, asked for the Bruce Orr 302s. Bruce Orr is going to become more important in this investigation. Explain the 302 and what they...
So the Bruce Orr issue, just not to get controversial, peace and love, peace and love. I was talking about Bruce Orr long before the letter formerly known as Q, or the letter known as Q. I was talking about Bruce Orr a lot. Okay, all the time, because it was just common knowledge. Okay. I said too, I mean, also the thing is, I don't usually speak in questions. Like with me, it's not like same bad channel, same bad time. The Riddler. Another crazy stunt? What will Batman do? Think Robin. No, it's like I make, sometimes I'm not 100% right, but I have the pulse of what's going on. What Q does, and I'm not going to get too deep. Okay, peace and love is, that's Ringo Starr, is it asks questions and then Deputy Dog, and asks questions, and then obviously it asks questions of people and things and entities in the news regarding all of this nonsense. I was saying Bruce Orr was a big part of this a long time ago before Q. Anyway, let's go on. So Nunes, basically, I was talking and I was always saying Bruce Orr gave the Steele dossier to James Comey because his wife, Nellie Orr, was working for Fusion GPS. The whole thing was a setup. That's why it's important, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that there's a Republican. It's important, very important. You're talking to a guy who's never voted really Republican. I don't think has ever, but it's very important to vote Republican from here on out until Democrats are peacefully, and politically peacefully obliterated peacefully. But Bruce Orr worked as a go-between. His wife worked at Fusion GPS, And he was the one who, whether it was the first person to give to Comey is irrelevant. He was the one who was a liaison that Comey utilized. And Rosenstein didn't even know, apparently. And here we have Grassley see, this is May 21st, Grassley seeks documents relating to Bruce Orr from Justice Department. So there you go. I mean, you know, the cat's, you know, it's already out of the bag. So we already know what's taking place. Let's listen to Devin Nunes.
Altered. Explain a 302, which is an official report. So were they altered?
So the FBI interviewed Bruce Orr at least a dozen times and put together reports. So once they fired Steele, which at that point they should have not been meeting with him anymore, but what they had is they had Bruce Orr, whose wife Nellie Orr was working for Fusion GPS, was going to meet and still get the information for Christopher Steele as they were trying to verify this unverified dossier or the Clinton dirt that was used to get the FISA warrant. So that's number two. Number three, there is exculpatory evidence that we have seen of classified documents that need to be declassified. These were not, when I say
exculpatory in nature, in what way? I don't mean to press you. Exculpatory in what way?
Exculpatory, meaning that Carter Page, there was evidence that exonerated or evidence that would help out Carter Page. Chaz 1422. A couple of drunk Harvard journalist majors could have written the dossier. I agree with you, and I would even venture to say high school students, intelligent, ambitious high school students. The Clinton campaign spent millions. Do you think they were laundering? Yes. I mean, possibly. Bruce and Nellie Orr could have possibly done it for ideological purposes, like Strzok and all of them. The people who were paid off are people like Andrew McCabe and Fusion GPS's Glenn Simpson. And I mean, Glenn Simpson was paid off for nothing. Christopher Steele was paid off even less. Christopher Steele was, I think he only got like 120, 130 grand, something like that. That's his name will be infamous. Infamous in American politics. Even Democrats really don't know what to make of him. They're like, oh. But Chance 1422, yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, it's just a bunch of not just salacious, the most absurd nonsense. Absurd nonsense. I mean, you know. Let's continue. Let's continue with old Nunes.
In that the Carter Page FISA, when the judges should have been presented with this exculpatory evidence that the FBI and DOJ had. So those are the three areas that we have left in terms of what we need declassified.
I've been hearing rumors of on top of that, a tape and potentially Intel service involvement in all of this. Is there any truth to that?
Well, that I think gets to the origins of the investigation.
So what they're saying is that basically Clapper, Brennan, and Comey I'm definitely voting for Trump in 2020. Only two things would stop me, a big war or if he extradited Assange. But other than that, I would definitely vote for Trump. Comey, Brennan, and Clapper basically just, I mean, we already know, like, we already know that Comey, Brennan, and Clapper basically, it was like the whole thing was a charade. And what they needed to do is legitimize an investigation. And the funny thing is, even like progressives know this also. They don't believe, most progressives don't believe the Russian hacking nonsense because they were at the receiving end of getting cheated. So you really have a small segment of Americans who are just Democratic Party loyalists, who are not that into it, but kind of don't like Trump. And so they're like, well, I don't know. Like, I get this a lot from people. Like, I don't know. Maybe Russia hacked the DNC. Who knows? So, well, I would say most progressives don't believe. Some obviously do believe the Russian hacking nonsense,
which we still are unclear on whether or not we know that the Australian diplomat that was serving in London, we were told that it was Five Eyes intelligence that was used to go after Papadopoulos. What we discovered in our investigation is there was no Five Eyes intelligence, and in fact, Downer's story, the Australian diplomat, doesn't even make any sense.
I've been talking about Downer's story forever. I call him Dumbo Downer, and you don't trust two men. You just don't trust two drunk men talking. HE talking up voice. Everything a question? Okay. You mean like in Batman? Like the original Batman? Well, Robin. Well, CJ LeBeau, thank you. Thank you again, CJ LeBeau. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, CJ LeBeau. Thank you so very much. Chaz1422, thank you again. So basically, like, yeah, that was awesome. The Adam West Batman was awesome. But let's finish up with W News.
So we're still trying to follow up on that. But in the big picture here, we need these documents declassified. That has to get done.
There was a report by
Secondly, we have about
Paul Sperry that might happen. I'm running out of time, and I want to get this in. This is very important. Well, I just played the tape, the April 2017 tape of your colleague, Shiftless Schiff. Sorry, Adam Schiff.
He calls him Shiftless Schiff.
I won't add my commentary to your comments. And it sounds like he's colluding with Russians for dirt on Donald Trump. And wasn't the phony dossier that Hillary and the DNC paid for, wasn't that full of Russian lies? And it was used to misinform the American people. They got a FISA warrant, as your memo pointed out, and the Grassley Graham memo pointed out, the bulk of information for the dossier for the FISA.
Yeah, well, look, if it would have been up to the Democrats, they were in on this from the beginning. So was the media, Sean. The media in 2016 had all this information too. So they know that this information was being generated by the Clinton campaign. You had the DOJ, FBI, all those cast of characters that were meeting regularly with Christopher Steele. You have Bruce Orr, the number 4 at the Department of Justice, who I think is going to become a more and more important figure in this. And a lot of the investigators and reporters should be looking closer at Bruce Orr.
So I've been talking about Bruce Orr endlessly. I've always talked about Bruce Orr. Always. And it's like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand. All right, Cold Warrior, veer off now. I missed some. Cold War. Okay, so loud citizen, blue Dem equals Dems waving goodbye as they walk away. Yeah, so, okay, so I didn't miss. All right, so I mean, there's so many things taking place right now. CJ LeBeau, thank you so very much as always. Thank you. There are so many things taking place now. And Manafort judge chastises Mueller prosecutors. Obama FBI hid evidence from Fisa judge. So, I mean, thank you, Zila K. Thank you, Zila. Really, like, what do you have here? You have a situation where, now let's look, Ohio. Let's see, Ohio. Let's see if we can get some. So, I mean, I hate to be, this is evil of me, but the Green Party candidate is going to take votes away from Danny O'Connor, which is what I did with Hillary. So you have Troy Balderson, Danny O'Connor, and Joe Manchin. And so you have Ohio special election results. And here is the article from the New York Times, ladies and gentlemen. They have a little tracker, little dumb tracker thing. So you can go ahead and, you know, see real time. I don't think that they haven't come in. So Nexus 6, they haven't come in with any of. CJ LeBeau, thank you so very much again. Ohio special election results, 12th congressional district. Baldur's, so CJ LeBeau, our biggest challenge is saving humanity is winning the facts over absurdity. Absolutely. Well, I mean, and that brings me to CJ LeBeau. That brings me to this. With all the talk of fake news, it helped Hillary Clinton more than anyone else. Fake news, Clinton, Stanford study. So here is at Stanford, Hillary Clinton. Okay, the perils of technology, but so hold on one second. Study finds fake news didn't help election against Clinton. Ironically, the most widely believed fake news stories were those that benefited her. There you go. There you go. And it's like a lot of the thing also is a lot of the whole fake news nonsense is because they engaged in so much of it, Democrats, from talking about how she only used the server for convenience, even though she had top secret intelligence outside the United States government, to just, you know, golf, Brexit, and grandchildren with Loretta Lynch, and to, oh, Hillary might win Texas. Like all this nonsense, like all the absurd nonsense. It's never ending. It's absolutely never ending. And I agree with you. Our biggest challenge in saving humanity is winning the facts over absurdity. But the big issue also, CJ LeBeau, is that a lot of people enjoy the absurdity. It makes them feel good. It makes Democrats feel really, really good to think that Trump worked with a foreign power. Suddenly, Natalia Veselnskaya became a foreign power. Just curious, when did Natalia Veselnskaya become a foreign power? The whole point, this was the Russian lawyer who met with Trump Jr. And it's like, oh my God, they met with a hostile foreign power. When did she suddenly turn into a direct link to the Kremlin? I'm tweeting this out. Because President Obama's DOJ allowed her into the country. That's the thing. And it's like, well, what's the propaganda spin? Is the propaganda spin that Trump Jr. met with a foreign hostile foreign hostile power, but we sold them uranium? Which one is it? And, you know, even the Snopes article says, well, he could have vetoed the uranium sale. So, like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's so absurd, the whole thing, and people like the absurdity. They love the absurdity. So that's it. They love the absurdity. And all right, so let's go and see, is there an actual theater of the absurd? Yes. So is there, ladies and gentlemen, any news regarding... So I wrote on Twitter, just curious, when did Natalia Veselnitskaya become a foreign power, or have direct links to the Kremlin? Because Obama DOJ allowed her into the country. Funny how that works. And if Putin is so hostile, why did Obama refuse to veto 20% of the U.S. uranium sale to Russia? It's like they can't stick with their they can't stick with their nonsense. It's constantly changing. But let's go ahead. So today it would be, right now it's 7 out of 10 special election, according to Ballotpedia. It would be 8 out of 11. Seven out of 10 special election won by GOP. Think about that. Think about that for a second. With the blue wave, with everything going against Trump in terms of the media. And you still have 7 out of 10. You still have people saying the fake news. You still have people saying fake news, fake news. Oh my God. Fake news didn't even... Let me go ahead and read you this Observer article. Study finds fake news didn't tip the election. The most widely believed fake news were the ones that benefited her. So... And there you go. Fake news has been frequently cited. This is from Michael Sonido, Observer. Fake news has been recently cited as the reason for Hillary Clinton's presidential loss to Donald Trump. Indeed, sensationalism surrounding the terms has provoked other fake or misleading articles to promote post-election narrative, the Washington Post published a controversial anonymous interview with Proper Not, a website that leads to a McCarthyist witch hunt, by listing several alternative news sites as Russian propaganda. BuzzFeed conducted their own study that claimed fake news outperformed real news in the final 3 months of the election. Well, then it would be Hillary's, because that was a push, a media push from Hillary. But the interesting thing here is, in January 2017, Matthew Genskow, a professor of economics at Stanford University, conducted a study on which fake news stories during the 2016 presidential election were most widely believed. Fake news stories during the 2016 presidential election were most widely believed, and what possible impact they had on the outcome. The study found that on Facebook, more fake news stories were shared favoring Trump than Hillary, based on stories that were debunked by Snopes, PolitiFact, and BuzzFeed. Well, if they're debunked by PolitiFact, BuzzFeed, Snopes, then they're just completely disregarding any aspect favorable to Trump or the two fake news stories most widely believed in the study, and Empty Wheel noted, happened to be pro-Clinton articles. There you go. The first was a false claim perpetuated by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee that Representative Jeff Dunham helped broker a real estate deal during a government-owned building into a Trump hotel. And second, stemming from Newsweek's article, claimed WikiLeaks was releasing fake emails to damage Clinton's campaign. Two fake news articles. You know, it is a problem also, ladies and gentlemen, when people, I'm looking at the Ballotpedia site, when people make chicken salad out of chicken poop. You ever know those people? They're called Democrats. Democrats are the worst at making chicken salad out of chicken poop. And it's like, so I get this email from one of my buddies, and I said, look at the Ballotpedia. I showed my buddy this. I said 7 out of 10. He said, well, the only change was from, it's really not about how many Republicans won. It's how many Republicans lost to a Democrat. I think he's referring to Doug Jones. Well, sorry, most people running for Congress don't have Roy Moore's insane past. You have a good candidate against a Democrat, you have a pretty good chance in 2018 because there's a walk away, there's a Dem exit, there's the stupid, dumb, this dumb nonsense regarding Russia that we hear every single day without fail. So, and I'm wondering if right now, I am wondering I have to get a copy of Craig Jarrett's book. I got to read it. So wait, so Ohio election results. All right. All right, so I don't think there's anything. Ohio special election results. Let's see. The last poll, Michael C., the last poll was I think, O'Connell up 1, or no, Balderson up 1. So Balderson, O'Connell, poll, and that's the thing. Like, they need to win these. Like, they're down by 24 seats, I believe, 24 seats in Congress. So you need to win this. You can't just, there are no like moral victories. Democrats always have these moral victories. So there's an Emerson poll, O'Connell up 1. So the margin of error is like, what, 3? And a Monmouth poll, Balderson up 1. Now, a Monmouth is usually leaning towards the left. And if Balderson is up 1 there, that says something. So, but then it's always like, oh my God, they got so close. Who cares? You need to win. You need to win. Here is, ladies and gentlemen, the actual election results. So, I mean, New York Times little poll thing. So, let's see. What to watch? Voters in Ohio's 12th district are choosing a replacement for Representative Pat Tiberi, a Republican who resigned to work for a business group. The candidates are Troy Balderson, so the Green Party candidate, and I used to hate it when I was on the left when I heard this, but the Green Party candidate is going to take votes away from the Democrat, which, good, the Democrats deserve it. I hope they take all the votes away. That's why I'm not thrilled with the Libertarian Party. I used to try to convince myself that a third party would work and that, it was noble. It is, but destroying a political party one way or another, whether it's with Trump as candidate, so he basically destroyed the Republican establishment single-handedly by winning. On the flip side, you can't work from within. So Republicans were very lucky that Trump actually kind of invaded their party and forced them from within to change. They're now less militant and less hawkish. President Obama implemented a regime change in Libya. Clinton constantly pushed for the removal of Assad. I mean, it's like, but you don't get that constant discussion with Trump. So 7 out of 10 special elections. Soon to be 8 out of 11. And suddenly there's going to be this big blue wave. Again, they have to win 24 seats. They have to win 24 seats. So 24 seats, Democrats, Congress. To reclaim House, Democrats need to flip 24 GOP seats. Ain't going to work. That's if they keep all their seats as well. They need 2 things working for them. And that equates to a lot of momentum. You can only have those 2 seats if you have the momentum. You need political momentum. You need some kind of enthusiasm. So it'll be interesting tonight. I mean, Balderson is almost certainly going to win. I believe he's going to win. I predict he's going to win. Let's go ahead and Ohio. So, why results could be huge warning sign for Trump. Oh my God. Ohio special election 2018. Dun dun dun. Why results could be huge warning sign for Trump and Republicans. And I'm looking at I think that this is to all the people who believe something ridiculous. I've always thought that Michelle Obama was a beautiful woman, and she is a beautiful looking woman. That's just the thing. I think Michelle Obama, like, I like first ladies. They're just wonderful. They just seem like nice people. And whereas I wasn't a fan of President Obama, I think that, Michelle Obama is a beautiful woman. Then you hear this nonsense, and it's like, oh my God, please don't talk about craziness. So even CNN, Trump may not be enough to swing Latino turnout. Yes. Because Latinos are voting for Trump. 30% of Latinos voted for Trump. That's another reason. This is great. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean, for that. I mean, H predicted this. H predicted this.
HBO now.
What the heck? Wow. So this is so crazy. So okay, so let me go before I get to doomsday with the Ohio. So this is really interesting. Trump may not be enough to swing Latino turnout Democrats' way. Yeah, because 30% of Latinos are voting for Trump, and it's probably going to be a little bit more than 30%, perhaps a lot more. Perhaps a lot more than 30%. So let me read you this. Democrats have hit an unexpected speed bump in their drive to regain control of Congress, unsettling signs that the party may not generate as much turnout or support among Latino voters this fall as it expected. Of course, because 30% of Latinos vote Republican, and conservatives are gaining steam among minorities. Julie Grundy, I have to give you money for your "don't talk about craziness" comment. Wait, which one is that? Don't talk about crazy. Wait, which one? Wait, when did I say that? Joel Grundy. Joel Grundy, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much, Joel Grundy. Thank you. Thank you. So I have to give you, don't talk about craziness. Oh, the craziness, yeah. I think it was the craziness regarding, yeah, it's just so much craziness. Like, okay, so thank you, Joel Grundy, thank you. I get the point that, like, people are yearning for truth. I get, but yeah, and that's the thing. Okay, but see, the thing is, like, this much money for this much food, you don't even go there. It only helps Democrats. If your goal is to win against Democrats, don't go there. Anyway, if your goal is to, like, if your goal is indeed to to hurt, to destroy the deep state, don't give the deep state layup. Two of my favorite basketball players of all time were Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. And Gary Payton would just throw the ball and Sean Kemp would dunk it. And he was like one of the best dunkers of all time. And it was perfect. He would, like, reverse, two-hand. Don't give the Democrats just a reverse double-handed dunk. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Horace, results are trickling in. Come on, Team Red. All right, let's see the results here. Trickle. So let's just read this, and then I'll go to the so let me go ahead real quick and so remember the Big Lebowski? Or it's like, just your opinion, man. It's just your opinion. All right, so hold on. One second. Where's the Big Lebowski? Big Lebowski. That's just your opinion, man. All right. So hold on one second. I'm going to read you this, and then I'm going to go to the special election. So, despite a procession of provocations from President Trump from ending deportation protections, so-called Dreamers, he wants to give Dreamers citizenship for the wall. Young immigrants brought to the country illegally by their parents to his now terminated policy that resulted in children being separated from their undocumented. Yeah, he terminated it. That was bad. What Obama did was worse. I don't even have to get into that. That was the New York Magazine reported that. A growing number of Democratic strategists are privately concerned. The Democratic strategists are like the biggest imbeciles on the planet, but even they can see the writing on the wall. I've been saying, and I will get you the part within the RT segment where I state that Democrats are going to lose the House and the Senate. I'm on TV saying that on RT Crosstalk. This was like a month and a half, 2 months ago. A growing number of Democratic strategists are privately concerned. I will add that to my article in 2017 stating that Tony Podesta would be under criminal investigation because of Mueller, and all the articles and everything I wrote regarding Clinton losing to Trump. What else? We can go on forever, but let's not. While cautioning there's still time to reverse the trend. No, there isn't. They point to warning signs of wavering Hispanic support and engagement in House districts in Texas, Nevada, Florida, California, and Senate races so basically that's all of Congress. You need high turnout from minority voters for Democrats to win. If minority voters are voting Republican and they're saying, you know what, we're not going to vote Democrat anymore, or we're just not going to vote, then you have a big problem for Democrats. Their brand is horrible. Their value system stinks. They're a bunch of frantic zealots who are also paranoid buffoons and imbeciles. So, I mean, aside from that, they're pretty good. But it's just they have nothing going for them. So, let's go ahead. Results are trickling in. I hope this is not like one of those like reverse countdowns when Trump won and like everyone was like, I can't believe it. All right, so New York Times, Ohio results. Nothing. Bupkis. I got nothing. Oh, give me a break. 4 articles remaining. Whatever. Horace! I should have said projections are coming in. Apologies. No problem. Thank you so much, Horace. Thank you. Nah, it's just I have a thing with the New York Times. I always like, you have 4 free articles remaining of how Trump is Satan incarnate. And it's like, would it kill another publication to have live results? Like, is it that hard? Do I have to just sell my soul to the New York Times to see this? Oh my god. Okay, Loud Wizard. I did the Borat. I don't want to say anything, is it? Borat. We put on top of bus. Okay. Live election. Polls close in 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Wow. So let's see. 7 out of 10. 8 out of 11. Connor Lamb one was just weak. And by the way, he was like, I love guns. I love church. I'm a Blue Dog Democrat. How many Blue Dog Democrats are there? Probably a very sizable. How many Blue Dog Democrats? The Blue Dog Coalition. So the Blue Dog member in 2010 was cut because 28 lost or chose not to run. So there's 18 Blue Dog Democrats in the 115th Congress, but that's just in the Blue Dog Coalition. Blue Dog Democrats. Blue Dog's I comeback in 2018. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. They're relying on conservative Democrats when like they want to abolish ICE and everyone's a Nazi and everyone's horrible. It's just simply they found a way, ladies and gentlemen, to actually circumvent history. Electoral history. Snooch! Hey, yeah, H.A., just want to continue my support, bro. Long live H.A. Goodman. Snooch! Thank you so very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I am CSC. Thank you so much, too. That's very kind of you. Snooch! Thank you, as always, for your support of this channel. And greatly, greatly appreciated. And Snooch, in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to find out coverage. I'm just trying to... This is hilarious because all you heard, like when I was on the left, was like, we're taking over. It's the new Democratic Party. Meanwhile, like Democrats are like, we're going to destroy any semblance of a threat to Pelosi or Schumer and just go back to the establishment. Oh, and by the way, Max Boot is voting for Democrats. So, and they keep like pushing single payer, Medicare for all, but it's like, it's not a policy that conservatives will also. One reason that Bernie was so popular was that there were a lot of conservatives who also wanted to break up too big to fail banks. Okay. That's something that you could kind of, a lot of conservatives who did want to end counterinsurgency wars. So, by the way, talk about shadow ban. I have been at 28,900 on my forever, like forever. That's all I will always stay at 28,000. It'll be a miracle if I ever break 30,000 on Twitter. So, Snooch, thank you so very much. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, can we get a little bit of love from my New York Times? No love from the New York Times. Take your time loading. Yeah. Okay, no, nothing still. Okay. Oh, okay, so 15 minutes. So what am I doing? So final results expected 7:45 Eastern. That's it? Like no lead up? Well, no, it's supposed to start trickling in soon. I know, Liam, yeah, Comey said vote Democrat. Yet another reason to not vote Democrat. Comey went to Iowa and said the growth looks good, which was very, very nice of Comey to do. He's a fantastic person. What's Comey up to right now? Actually, before we go look at Comey, so hold on, let's go ahead. Ohio special election. Ohio special election. Where's the Newsweek article I was reading? OMG. Could be huge warning signs for Trump and Republicans. Oh my God. What? It could be huge warning signs, but what if they win? Huge warning signs for Trump and Republicans. Oh my goodness. This is really crazy. The future of the midterms in 2018 rests, ladies and gentlemen, on what happens in 15 minutes. See, they set themselves up for this, see? It's like they're not, Snooch! Snooch, would you rather me do these through PayPal? Bro, would you rather me do these through PayPal? I understand Super Chat takes 30%. That's extortion. Snooch, thank you so very, very much. I do have a PayPal. It's whatever you're comfortable with, and I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for either way. You know, it's kind of fun on these live streams, but if I have a PayPal, I mean, I have a Patreon. Sorry, so I probably have to set up a pay.me something. But I do have a Patreon. If anybody wants to support the channel, my voice monthly, my writing. But Snooch, I mean, just thank you. You watching, everyone watching is the most important thing, and thank you. Whatever makes you comfortable. This is fun too. It's awesome. Snooch, thank you so very, very much. I think Snooch and everyone here, we're gonna enjoy. You don't want to see an HA election meltdown. That would not be good. I'd be like, ah. Ohio special election 2018. Why results could be huge warning sign for Trump and Republicans. What? But what if they win? OMG. So let's see. We have 700 people here. And there's going to be a party. Very likely. Party. So a special congressional race in Ohio that should be an easy win for Republicans is suddenly competitive. Oh my God, because they pump money in. Boosting Democratic hopes that a blue wave is coming this November. O'Connor, much to the shock of Republican establishment, O'Connor has outraced his opponent. Yeah. What did Connor Lamb do? So O'Connor outraised his opponent. Yeah. Not from, if you look, it's very likely not money from Ohio also. It's just from around the country or from Democratic PACs or whatever. Connor Lamb outspent. No, actually, Connor Lamb spent less. But, okay, so Democrats, money, fundraising, special election. See how much they spent. Senate fundraising numbers looking good for Democrats. Democrats outraising Republicans in key House races, and yet in special elections, they've lost 7 out of 10. Democrats have a $10.5 million fundraising advantage over Republicans in the 25 most competitive races for seats. Well, they need 24 seats, so there you go. You need 24 out of 24 and no attrition, no losses from the seats you currently hold, like 190. Ain't gonna happen. Oh, nice. Sean. Somebody got their first profanity alert shirt. Wow. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, this is very nice. Wall Street Journal. Facebook has asked banks to share financial information about customers, including account balances, as it seeks to boost user engagement. What? How? That has to be illegal. Although in our current world, it's probably not. Democrats have a $10.5 million fundraising advantage, all from just people who hate Trump. It's not like people who want to bring home soldiers from war or break up too big to fail banks or, have a less militant foreign policy, peace with North Korea, or expose corrupt FBI agents. No. It's just hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. Let's see. We're going to have a party on this channel. So if you're on Facebook, if you're making some coin, old Zucky, the Zuckmeister is going to know. You get like a thank you. You get like a notice from Facebook. Congratulations on your recent raise. We here at Facebook love you. It's like, how did you know that? You're crazy. The fundraising gap could reflect opposition to President Donald Trump and growing enthusiasm. Have you ever met, this is Reuters, have you ever seen so much flawed analysis? I'm not patting myself on the back or, trying to disparage Q or whatever. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm talking just flawed analysis from 2015 until now. Everything is, this could mean this could mean that could mean that, this could mean this. And it never means anything they say. Never, ever, 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 ever means anything they say. It's always the opposite of whatever they think it means. Always the opposite. So let's go ahead and see. So it's what? It should be 7:39. Are you kidding me? Oh. So it's only okay, so it's only certain. Well, let's see. 1% of precincts in. Danny O'Connell leads by 61 percentage points. No! 1% of precincts in. So it shows Danny O'Connell. That is a huge, though, lead. But, I think it's... So... The reporters are following the orders of their financial taskmasters, but what do I know? You know a lot, Horace, and I agree with you. The editor is also like, it's all about, hate Trump, all that. So that's bizarre, though. Like 10,878 votes to 2,579. That's crazy. But there's a lot of, so... Let's look at the... Either way, if Danny O'Connell wins tonight, special elections, still 7 out of 10 wins for Republicans. So it's like, the Green Party got 62 votes. Wow. I hope he does. Patricia Marino, Obama lifted the ban on propaganda. Couldn't Trump reinstate it? I hope that he does. I hope that he does. I hope that he does. I agree with you, Patricia Marino. So, okay, so Danny O'Connor leads by 41 percentage points over Troy Balderson with less than 1% of precincts fully reported. So Troy Balderson, 5,894 votes. Danny O'Connor, 14,082. So tiny little uptick. But he sure got off to a big lead. But that's, I don't think, like 1% of the precincts. So, Patricia Moreno, thank you. So let's see. Let's go ahead. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more precincts. Or no, sorry, what am I saying? 4 more areas here in the district. 45 precincts. So Franklin County, I think that was the remark that he made. So now it's 6,114 Troy Balderson, 14,211 Danny O'Connor. This is interesting. So of course I have to, like, this is like watching you know what on DSL in like 2001. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. So he still has a pretty good lead, close to 8,000 votes, O'Connor. I think that Troy Balderson's going to win. I think he probably knew that Franklin County was not going to be good, which is why he All right, so let's go ahead and see again. Let's refresh this one more time. See, at least by 40, it was only 1% of the precincts. That's why it's like so difficult to. It's so difficult to. So Franklin County. If you're in Ohio, let me know, because I think that he made like a disparaging remark about Franklin County. Of course, all of Twitter is like for O'Connor, because you know the Russians, the Russian intelligence services. Well, I don't even know. Who knows? So now you have Danny O'Connor, 16,000 votes, 16,013 votes, and Troy Balderson, 7,787 votes. This is, with less than 1% of precincts fully reported. So it's just 1% of precincts. So Franklin County is Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. So let's go ahead. Oh, I think that Balderson is going to win. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. My prediction is that Balderson's going to win. He has a huge lead though because of Franklin County, like an enormous lead. But let's go ahead. Let's see, Ohio. Let's go look at districts that Balderson should win. It is. It's real close. You won't see a meltdown like other. All right, so 16,013 votes for Danny O'Connor, and Troy Balderson, 7,787 votes. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, Troy Balderson. Balderson. So it's just 1% says here. So, I mean, it's not. He leads by 34 percentage points over Troy Balderson with less than 1% of precincts fully reported. So if 99% of the precincts there in a traditionally Republican go Democrat, well, there you go. I don't think that's going to happen. My prediction is that Balderson's going to win, but you still have 7 out of 10 in special elections being won by Republicans. So let's see here. So let's see. Ohio, the tweet endorsement for Troy Balderson. What to watch? What we'll learn. Is this a sign of a blue wave? Even if O'Connor wins, it's not a blue wave, but whatever. If O'Connor prevails, it will be a strong indicator that Democrats can win in areas that have long eluded them. Not possibly, but not with the other article I just read, with Latinos not voting in large numbers for Democrats, or not as enthusiastic for the Democratic Party. With only 23 seats needed to take back the majority in the House, I thought it was 24. Okay, 23 seats still. With only 23 seats, right? And then you got to keep all the seats that you currently own. A win in the Columbus area district will put that in greater reach for them. If Balderson wins the final vote, Democrats will point to the margin to show gains. Either way, they'll spin it. So it really doesn't matter. A loss is a win for Democrats. Or if a loss isn't a win, they blame Russia. All right, let's go. Let's try to go ahead and So 1% of voters in. So now you have almost 9,507 for Troy Balderson and 17,079. Oh my gosh. It's craziness. But it keeps saying with 1% of precincts reporting. So, like, that's like, is this accurate? Not accurate? Like, what's the deal? All right, let's go ahead and refresh the screen again. I know this is thrilling, ladies and gentlemen, but I am Hopefully we can get. How strong is the Trump bump? President Donald Trump's endorsement in Republican primaries has given last-minute boosts to candidate like Katie Arrington in South Carolina, support for John James in Michigan. And Chris Kobesh in Kansas could help bring them over the line. That's right, okay. So... Well, he's slowly closing in, not still ever so slowly. Troy Balderson, 12,945. 22,387. So Troy Balderson, 12,945 votes. Poor Joe Manchin of the Green Party has 261 votes. Can you please just siphon off some Democratic votes? And Danny O'Connor. So Danny O'Connor still leading by a tiny bit less than 10,000 votes. There's only 1% of precincts fully reporting, so if that's what it reads here, or it's going to go to like it'll just be like stuck there and like, oh, 100%. Okay, bye. So let's go ahead and Ohio 12 race. How many votes? Michigan election. Michigan primary election. Let's go ahead and refresh the screen. I apologize for the thrilling. So still 1% of precincts, but let's go ahead and look at, I want to see the Pat Tiberi. Pat Tiberi. Okay, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have a long way to go. It really is 1% of precincts, because if you look at Ohio, this is August 1st, 2017. I can go ahead and give you the link right here. Amish Space Force. That's right. That's right. Great minds think alike. We literally 377,534 total votes were cast in the last Ohio 12 election. Great minds think alike. And here's the New York Times. So yeah, so this is not like there's no need to worry because this is like nothing. Like we have 30,000 votes total, 33,000. You're talking what, 300,000 votes? So 300, yeah, 377,000 votes. So it'll probably be, it might be closer, but I don't see it as, like I said, I stated like a million times, I think that Troy Balderson's going to win. Lord. All right, so let's go ahead. I just want to hear Troy Balderson. So okay, so can I hear Troy Balderson speak? Let's go speech. Jeez. What is going on? Troy Balderson interview. That's bizarre. Why can't I get any? There's no speech, there's no nothing. That's bizarre. Okay, so here. MH Energy Exchange. So
Counties do you represent?
I represent Morgan County, Guernsey County, Muskingum County, Fairfield County, Hocking County, parts of Athens County, and Pickaway County.
Okay, so you're driving around. Is it noticeable, the downturn in the level of activity?
Very noticeable. It's, you know, truck traffic is way down. The hotel traffic is way down. Restaurant traffic. I know Guernsey County alone, the bed tax.
this is 2016.
2010, back in the boom, is down almost $1 million. So that's significant to communities.
And counties as well, have they seen a downturn in, say, sales tax revenue?
They have seen a sales tax revenue. I was a little surprised. I mean, not as significant as I thought it might be, but it's all down. And the unemployment, you know, as high as the numbers were back in 2008, 2009, moving
So
drastically.
he seems to know what he's talking about. He seems to know pretty much what he's talking about. Let's go ahead and see. %1 of districts. Oh my goodness. Less than 1% reporting 1 of 591 precincts. So we talked about the Lamborghini. It's going to be like a Lamborghini and a truck. Danny O'Connor. Let's see. Mr. O'Connor. Of course. Danny O'Connor.
Okay, you don't want to deal with it. Okay, what about Nancy Pelosi? The first vote you have to cast when you become a member of Congress is to vote for the leader of your party that's nominated for Speaker. Who are you going to vote for Speaker?
I don't know who's going to run, but I know
Pelosi's running for re-election.
we need change. We need change on both.
So you're not voting for Pelosi?
No.
Well, how are you going to help the Democrats get the 218 they need to win the House? You have to be one of the votes.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? If you're one of the 218 they need to take control of the House, and the vote on the floor is Pelosi, what are you going to do?
We need leadership on both sides.
So you vote against her even if you didn't get control of the House.
We need leadership.
And you don't get control of the House.
Well, we need to.
If it's a decisive vote, would you vote against Pelosi? If it's decisive,
we need new leadership.
You know you have to decide this. Just tell me you know you have to decide it.
No, but we need new leadership.
No, just tell me you know.
The old ways aren't working.
No, you.
So you have Chris Matthews, who's basically the Democratic Party, berating this guy, this poor guy, Danny O'Connor, who just like, he's like, what, aren't we on the same team? That's typical Democratic Party. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get the Ferrari going. Let's get the Ferrari going.
You know that for the Democrats can get control, you have to have 218 members of the House
Absolutely.
to vote for the candidate of the Democratic Party for Speaker.
I would
Can you do
support
that?
whoever the Democratic Party.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Weak sauce.
Candidate of the Democratic Party for Speaker.
I would
Can you do
support
that?
whoever the Democratic Party.
Thank you.
Just, I mean, it's like no shame. I'm not even talking about poor Danny O'Connor. Like, it's just Chris Matthews. Beating him down. You got to go ahead. Any thought of change? Oh, never happen. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. That's why they lose. Well, that's one of the reasons. Their vision of change isn't spectacular either. No discussion of bringing home soldiers from wars. And Max Boot voting for the Democratic Party. So.
And Max Boot voting for it. Democrat.
All right, so so let's go ahead. Gosh, I want to be here with you when this all goes down, but I'm thinking maybe I should just end this segment, take a little break, because I'm going to take a break eventually, and then come back again. Let's hear this nastiness again.
His investigations.
Okay, you don't want to deal with it. Okay, what about Nancy Pelosi? The first vote you have to cast when you become a member of Congress is to vote for the leader of your party that's nominated for Speaker. Who are you going to vote for Speaker?
I don't know who's going to run, but I know
Pelosi's running for re-election.
we need change. We need change on both
So
sides.
you're not voting for Pelosi?
No.
Well, how are you going to help the Democrats get the 218 they do to win the House? You have to be one of the votes.
Yeah, we
So what are you going to do? If you're one of the 218, they need to take control of the House, and the vote on the floor is Pelosi. What are you going to do?
We need leadership on both sides.
So you vote against her even if you didn't get control of the House.
We need leadership.
And you don't get control of the House.
Well, we need to.
If it's a decisive vote, would you vote against Pelosi? If it's decisive,
we need new leadership.
project. You know you have to decide this. Just tell me you know you have to decide it.
No, but we need new leadership.
No, just tell me you
The
know.
old ways aren't working.
No, you know that for the Democrats can get control, you have to have 218 members of the House
Absolutely.
vote for the candidate of the Democratic Party for Speaker.
I would
Can you do
support
that?
whoever the Democratic Party.
Thank you.
Forward.
Benny?
It just, that is pretty much what happens in on the left. Constant browbeating. Constant browbeating. Liam, you're 100% right. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back. I will return. I will return, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all. And let's go ahead and we'll have a little party. A little party. I would be honored to speak at the NRA convention if invited. I would be absolutely honored. if they ever invited me, I would be absolutely honored to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. And no doubt there's like a whole bunch of votes for for Balderson. And the New York Times is like, this is a glitch. It's a glitch. It's a problem. Big problem. To my super chat, to my super chat, thank you so very much. Everyone, thank you so very, very much. You are all wonderful. Let's go ahead and we will definitely discuss the Troy Balderson win in a little bit. See you in a couple of hours. Thank you so very much, everyone. To my super chat, thank you again. It's going to be really fun next segment.